Serendipitous conversations. What is serendipity? Serendipity is a happy coincidence. It's great when you're in a conversation and something comes up and you go, oh, that's an amazing coincidence that makes you smile, makes them smile, and you have a great warm conversation. Well, how can we create serendipitous conversations? Well, business relationships can be boring. This is the importance of something that's not so boring, not so details. It's really good if you can find out your customers' interests or passions and know more about their background. If you understand what's happening in their world that's important to them, it's more likely you can create these serendipitous conversations. And LinkedIn is a fantastic place to start. So make sure you understand each person that you're involved with in this client relationship. Where have they previously worked? Do we know anybody who has worked there or works there right now? Was their company recently in the news? Is there something relevant that they would probably want to talk about, you would like to have a conversation about too? What about their academic background? Where did they go to university? What country, state, city did they go to? What university, what fraternity perhaps they were in? Did we go there? Have we ever been to that city? Do we know somebody who's gone there? They may support an affiliated sports team based on where they went to university that we could talk about. Do they have any famous alumni from that university, college, or educational institute that we can talk about? And even the content they post on LinkedIn. What do they tend to post about? What topics do they seem to be most passionate and interested in? Really importantly, do they have a particular standpoint on those topics within their sector or industry? Maybe slightly more controversial or a certain side that we can discuss non-contentiously with them. Do they regularly share posts from certain key influencers? So perhaps mentioning a conversation or item that influencer has posted could drive them to have a conversation with you. These are all great sources of insight to create serendipity. Research these areas and try and drop them into conversation. Listen for your customer's interest. If they seem to bite, dive into that topic with gusto. But if not, don't worry, move on. You tried it, didn't create that serendipity. It's okay to try and find something else. Apart from LinkedIn though, we can also look at Google News. Google News is a great source for information about the company they work within or the industry or sector they work within. And you can try and uncover any industry related news that's happening right now that might be relevant to drop into the conversation. To use it, go to Google News and put in the topic or industry sector in the search bar that you think your customers are going to be most interested in. You'll see the current news, what's happening and trending. You can scroll through and try and get a feel of what's happening in that market. And you can find related topics that might be similar to the search terms you've used on the right-hand side. You can create these segments, if you like, as saved news searches, so you can constantly go back in and not have to re-type in that search. You'll have default sections on the left there, these snippets of default news on your account. But what you can do is you can take the topic you search for there and you can save it, and then you can manage that section and make sure that that section of news is up the top. So you can drag it up the top like I'm doing here, and that will be the top, one of the top news segments you go into when you go onto the main Google News page. Once you've saved that and go back, you'll see that will be a topic that Google now knows you're interested in. And all you got to do is click on the segment every few days or weeks, and you'll quickly get an update of what's happening or trending in that news. So creating serendipity is not that difficult. Make sure you know your customer and their company through things like LinkedIn, and keep informed in the news with things like Google News. Pretty soon you'll be having great conversations, more warm conversations with serendipity all over the place.